What's up, everyone watching this video? I'm Admin Tim, founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm not making a truck rant about this particular topic as requested. I'm getting over a really nasty cold, so there's going to be a lot of jump cuts, and I sound like shit even more so than usual. And it's also storming like a motherfucker here, so I'm just not trying to be outside in these conditions. So I was asked by some of the page fams to make a rant about Joe Biden stepping down and Kamala Harris as his heir apparent. For all of the intense criticism, among many other things, we level at conservatives, be they MAGA, GOP, Republicans, whatever. One of the things that I do give them credit for is their ability to galvanize their voter base and get everyone in line. Now, on the one hand, it's absolutely frustrating that MAGA Republicanism is just a continuation of centuries-old conservative hatred. And today, it morphs into anything I don't like is woke, or similar battle cries of CRT and DEI. Now, on the other hand, this monolithic hive mind makes it extremely difficult to create wedge issues unless you have an internal massive threat to almost everything practical in nature that they hold dear, outside of their bias, of course. Now, the Democratic Party, however, continues to fail in this regard, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It ensures that people don't go unheard as much as can be possible in today's climate of elected representatives who can't really be held accountable by the people unless the people have a lot of money. But it also makes it hard to get everyone to rally behind a candidate. No candidate will ever pass the party purity test, not even Trump. But again, conservatives understand that they're a dying breed and a growing minority, and will do everything that they can to hold on to power. It's not so with Democrats, liberals, progressives, and leftists. For example, in 2012, when Barack Obama was running for election, a number of Democrats kept their distance because they lived in red states or they lived in swing districts. Some just wanted Obama to cater to their political interests before they would openly endorse him. MAGA doesn't have that problem. A significant number of politicians and former administration officials straight up said out loud to the press that Trump was a danger, he was incompetent, but then they turned around and they say they're going to vote for him anyway. Conversely, the voters themselves made their displeasure clear because the Obama administration had the violations of civil liberties, expanding executive power, and waging a secretive war with drone strikes, which presumed that any unidentified males that were killed were militants. And let's not even get started with the Bernie Bros. Opposition to Joe Biden was all over the map, ranging from the physical, his skin color, his age, his alleged senility, all the way to his voting record in the 80s. Several weeks ago, two old white men stood on a stage and told the entire country why they were the best candidate for president and why the other one wasn't the best, and some bullshit about golf. Now, this caused widespread concern among the people that neither were actually fit to hold the highest office in the land. Now, one of those candidates is out, and that's as it should be, whether you personally disagree with it or not. Everyone's saying, well, it's two old white men. Well, guess what? Not anymore. And predictably, in the wake of Biden stepping down from the 2024 Democratic Party presidential candidate and the announcement that Vice President Kamala Harris was his presumptive heir, a number of things have happened. Democratic Party icon Nancy Pelosi has suggested that the party should have a competition to choose a new nominee. And the problem with that is that we've got just over 100 days to figure this shit out. And Republicans are already scrambling in many states to sue, claiming that Biden is already on the ballot and can't be removed, and that Harris can't be added to the ballot because that window has closed. Never mind the fact that Pelosi and her ilk are the same people who demanded Biden step down. And the clock was already ticking when Biden's debate performance triggered this bullshit. And on the voter base side, people who were anti-Kamala when she was running for president in the 2020 election, who've largely been silent since Harris was not a very visible figure during the Biden administration, have suddenly popped up out of nowhere. And TikTok and YouTube videos have gone up bitching about whatever it is that pisses them off about Kamala Harris. Now, the biggest ones are that she's not progressive enough, her prosecutorial record as California's attorney general, etc. I'm sure you can find a lot of it. But here's the thing. This is it, fam of liberty. This is America's season finale, and we don't know if the show is going to get renewed. The time for all that bullshit is long since past. And I absolutely fucking hate that for the past few elections, every election has always been, well, this is the most important election. It's frustrating to be this goddamn tired all the goddamn time. But undeniably, the writing is on the wall. All those fascist bootlickers that tried storming the Capitol on January 6th are still mad as fuck. The conservative spin machine is in overdrive, trying to deny that Project 2025 is a real thing, or that Trump isn't tied to it, or whatever. I had a TikTok that went kind of viral, and there were a fair number of comments from Trump supporters claiming that this was fake news and had been debunked. Now, never mind the fact that everything I said came right out of the actual Project 2025 document and Heritage Foundation's other policy documents. So I'm going to be as real as I can be with you. It's got to be all hands on deck. I don't give a fuck what your reasons are. I'm urging you to put all that shit aside if you don't want to see a Trump monarchy. And that's what we're basically looking at. Everybody who bitched about Biden needing to step down, well, he did it. You did this. You and the Democratic politicians and media talking heads whose CEOs are allegedly closet Trump supporters, everyone who can't stand Kamala Harris, tough shit. She's never going to pass your party purity test, and nobody else will either. Do I want to vote for Kamala the cop? No, not really. Will I? Yes, because we don't have a system that supports third parties yet, and pretending that this election could be the one to get that in place is fucking stupid. The way our system works right now is all that matters. 100 plus days before the election is not the time to play fuck games. We're in the here and now, right now. So the only party that could feasibly beat Trump, even if it's a long shot, is the Democratic Party and their candidate. So that's who's going to get my vote. And me voting that way doesn't condone anything that the administration may have done or Kamala Harris may have done in the past. It's me saying, fuck Trump. I'm going to do whatever works best to stop that convicted felon from getting back into office. And then, presuming we survive, I can begin working again to hold people accountable or draw attention to issues and try to help do my part to get the country back on track. Now, to be clear, you have every right to use your vote however you see fit. I am in no way excusing or looking the other way when it comes to Kamala Harris's political history or her failure to speak on the continuing genocide in Palestine or her prosecutorial record. But I believe that there is too much at stake for me to not vote for whomever has the best chance of defeating Trump. And I don't think this is the election to be fucking around with protest votes or experimenting with third parties or moral desire to be on the right side of history. Voting isn't marriage. You're not voting for the one who's absolutely perfect. Voting is like public transportation. You're getting the bus. And if one isn't going exactly to your destination, you don't sit at home and sulk. You take the one that's going closest to where you want to be, and then you do the work to get the rest of the way. And the writing is on the wall. If Trump wins, this country is pretty much fucked. He was a failure as a one-term loser who got impeached twice, and we literally saw with our own eyes the attempts at engineering the 2020 election. We saw the attempts to subvert the vote. We saw attempts to stop the steal. We saw wild, baseless accusations that predictably ended up being just an indictment of Republicans as per the usual. And we saw what happened when that orange motherfucker, Putin's cockholster, the gibbering shit-gibbon, when he lost. He fomented dissent and he ordered his people to storm the Capitol. Project 2025 is literally American Mein Kampf. It is a blueprint for systematically dismantling everything that this nation has built over the past 2.5 centuries, for good or for worse. They're literally telling you who they are, and who they are is the same motherfuckers in Handmaid's Tale. Don't let them win.